Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Tuesday, and I am back here again, bringing you another episode of Zero Hour, where I, your host, Extra Zero, go through all the Transformers news I find cool in a week, in the week, in about an hour or so. And it might be a little bit of a lighter show tonight because, well, there's not too much coming off of the heels of TFCon Toronto, and we've got San Diego Comic-Con around the corner. So, things are a little scarce, but we still do have a bunch of cool stuff to talk about and to discuss. So, before we get into it, if you don't mind, hitting that like button if you like what I'm doing here. And if you're not already subscribed, hopefully tonight is the night that I earn your subscription. So if you do decide to I'm tongue-tied. If you decide to subscribe to the channel, make sure you're ring that notification bell. I do have extra content in the pipeline. I know I've been slacking, but it's been a busy summer, and I'll have some news about that real soon to share with y'all. But I do have some stuff in the works. I've just been busy with some other stuff like Gronk Squad and just life in general. It's been a busy summer. Can share one thing though. We did have a smaller meetup. If you saw T-Man's video that I posted on the community tab here on YouTube, he had a little bit of footage from that meetup we did in the beginning of the month. Well, I'm going to be doing one at the end of August. So if you're in the DC, Maryland, Virginia, or Pennsylvania area, August 30th, we're going to have another meetup at probably same location. I'll be putting notifications out on all the Facebook groups as well as TFW. Cool part about it is my pal Lance, who's been on the channel, he's going to be coming in from California to spend some time with my wife and I. So he'll be hanging out with us. So he gets to come to an East Coast meetup. It's going to be a really good time. And, I hope people can make it out to that one. I know it's right before back to school, but, it's also the end of summer. I think it's also a good opportunity to get people together. So I'll be putting out all the invitations, and hopefully we have a better turnout than last time. And lastly, before we get into it, if you're watching me here live on YouTube, thank you very much. I wouldn't be able to do the show if not for all the cool folks that tune in each and every week. We got the live chat popping off over there. I already see some folks in there. So I'll be shouting you guys out throughout the course of the show, making you all part of the conversation. One of the things I love to do over here. So if you are watching me here live on YouTube, don't be shy. Pop in over to that live chat. If you got any questions or anything, I'll be sure to read your comments. And I just always love knowing what you guys are thinking and feeling about the stuff we're talking about. So before we get into news and saying hi to chat, let's kick things off with this week's, and this is going to be a controversial one, but this week's figure of the week. So this week's figure of the week is it's probably going to be a little controversial, and this was one I initially wasn't going to pick up, but here we are. And this is the I believe this is the Chomp and Battle Grimlock from the Cyber World line. So I started off picking up just the Optimus and the Megatron. He's not Mega Bull, but the Bull Megatron. And the Optimus he's all right. He's a neat little figure. This is definitely a line for kids, right? But I do like to pick up like the Optimus and Megatrons from each line. And these are neat little simple figures. They're about the size. What I like about them is they're a good replacement for Core Class. And obviously here I've mistransformed Optimus. But they're just... They don't have the most articulation. They're lacking elbows. They don't have head articulation. In the case of Optimus, he's got like a waist, he's got knees, and he's got arms. The plastic quality on these is pretty good. And the transformations are actually really fun and enjoyable. Fun figures to flip back and forth. They've kind of got like a an automorph gimmick of sorts. And boom, just like that, I've got Optimus transformed. And what's lacking a little bit of paint on the grill. And again, this isn't about Optimus. This is going to be about the Grimlock. But, yes, this is a fun little figure. I mean, it's as simple as splitting the arms. And you just push the front of the... or actually, no, you don't push the front up. You push the back up like this. And you squeeze it, and everything shoots down and up. And it's like just this really satisfying kind of like automorph gimmick like they had in the 07 line, and all of the like main figures have it. And so, you know, after watching the show, and the show, as I mentioned last week, it's not for me, but I did like the Grimlock character, and this figure's cheap. This is less than a Voyager, and it's a big figure. And after watching that toy guy, I was like, yeah, I kind of want it, because I do like the whole idea of an Optimus riding around on a Grimlock. And this is just such an throwback to Armada, right? What I like is the gimmicks on this guy. And again, it's cheaper than a modern Voyager. He's got this thing on the back you can pull up, and it creates this little seat, and you can post your Optimus into the back of him. He's got like a 5mm port on his back, and there we go. And he stays on super. And the plastic on these guys is really good. I'm surprised. And you know, you can just ride on Grimlock and, you know, go about it. Grimlock's got like an opening mouth, and the cool thing is that you wouldn't think that the spring in this would actually be strong enough, but yeah, he can totally hold on to some dudes, which is a lot of fun. And the Grimlock also has his own little automorph gimmick. So you flip him around, you just flip this panel up, and boom, he just flips around like that. And yeah, the proportions on the T-Rex mode are a little wonky, but I just think these have kind of like that sweet spot. Like, they are not as simplified as one-step changers, but they're fun. They've got gimmicks. Like, it's been a long time since you've seen, and sturdy joints on these guys too. He's got like a spring-loaded jaw. He's got, you know, a ratcheted Gatling gun. No head articulation, really. The arms just kind of move out to the sides. The legs are pretty decent, you know. And again, sturdy plastic on this. I mean, not floppy at all. And these are just like fun, easy to transform toys that I think kids can beat up. And I've got a 2-year-old nephew, and when he comes over, I think I'm gonna see how he reacts to these, like whether or not, you know, these are things he loves. Dinosaurs, so I'm curious, like, what his reaction's going to be to these, just because you know, they're well made, they're sturdy, they're fun. You know, also too, I love the fact that this Grimlock has kind of an easy to do mech mode. You know, fold his head down, open up the chest, you pop the top of the dino head onto these posts up here, and now you can have Optimus. This is just so goofy. You have Optimus in his own like Grimlock mech. He still has like the chomping arm and the Gatling gun. Just like the play pattern on these things, it's just they haven't really done it since Armada. And you know, as much as I like kind of like the idea of Wild King, I kind of really hope that these take off, because again, they're like Hot Wheels sized. They're $10. And again, this Grimlock's big. Here's a $25 figure next to this $30 figure. This is just a big figure, and it's a really sturdy feeling, and it's fun. And I wish the show was structured a little different. I wish it wasn't like these 5-minute once a week episodes. I wish it was like kind of like more boom boom boom, you know, something to get kids into the series. Maybe something for a little bit more for general audiences. But you know, all in all, this is a really neat figure, and I wasn't really gonna. I just got it as a curiosity piece, right? I wanted an Optimus and a Grimlock, and you know, the Megatron. You know, just a little taste of that new main line, and I've just been having so much fun messing with this. And again, like I said, even though it's a very goofy dinosaur mode, it kind of has like those proportions, like the Age of Extinction toy version of Grimlock. Again, this is no one's gonna be like, that's a good looking T-Rex. It's not, but it still looks like a T-Rex. And if you're a kid and you're looking at it through the lens of like this T-Rex, and you know, it's just as simple as transforming like that. Come on, that's fun. That is a lot of fun. So you know, if you've got kids or you have any kids in your life, like nephews or even nieces that are interested in Transformers, or little cousins or little siblings, this could be a really good entry point to getting them in. Or if you just want to have like a Transformer on your desk that's just fun and takes you back to a simpler time, this might be it. So the Cyberworld Grimlock is this week's figure of the week. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll say hi to chat. First up, we got Princeton Phalanx coming in saying hello. Always good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Got Mario coming in saying hi, extra. Good to see you, Mario. And Mario also coming in saying waiting for what will be revealed at SDCC on Friday by Hasbro during their panel. Like the interims of reveals, for example, the tease of the Age of Prime's Years 2. Yeah, I think we're gonna get a bunch of those. And we'll be looking at their highlights in just a second here. Got Sabertron Toys coming in saying, "What's up, Extra Zero?" And that Optimus looks fun. Yeah, the Optimus is fun. I will say the Megatron is probably the most fun of the two little ones I have. His transformation's actually really neat. Maybe I'll make him figure of the week next week. Maybe. But yeah, I'm happy with the line for what it is. I think it's a good replacement for Core Class, and I think they're neat as an impulse buy scale. And I think they have the potential to resonate with kids if they can get this series out there. And let's see, Mario coming back saying, also wondering if you started. I did see that people were finding the new stuff, primarily the Perceptor, and I got my Perceptor through Target's website. I was unable to get that Devastation 2-pack, but I know people are finding them. And it's also saying that Commander Class, Age of the Prime, Silver Bolt, and Long Haul and Hook. Yep. So yeah, I have seen that at my local Target, Long Haul and Hook have shown up. And yeah, that Ground Soldier and Elite Seeker set is one of the ones I'm looking for. Also curious to see how those War for Cybertron repaints look in person, whether or not they're worth replacing the ones I have. So we'll see. But it's cool. It's cool that new stuff is showing up. I think Target. I haven't heard anything about Target doing like their haulathon stuff. I guess they'll probably set up an end cap or something. I have seen on Reddit that some people's Targets are looking pretty barren, and it looks like they're doing yet another reset. So we shall see. Let's get on to some of the SDCC news and just kind of some of the Hasbro highlights. So TFW posted this, stating that once again, the Hasbro booth will offer physical product purchases, including a curated selection of top quality toys and collectibles, including convention exclusives. Attendees will have the opportunity to purchase the following Hasbro products. And as far as Transformers go, it's going to be that Void Rival set, though I think we do know that Timeline set is also going up. And we'll be looking at that. So in addition to that, they're doing Beyblade convention exclusives, the Dreadnoks, the band set for G.I. Joe, the Ecto Glow Heroes for Ghostbusters, because they neglect that they still have that license, save for some of the HasLabs. They're doing the Black Series, Anakin and Obi-Wan, the Mustafar duel, and the Gamerverse Marvel Legends Snap Savage Land 3-pack, which has Sauron in it. Then they're going to be doing that fan streaming studio that we covered. But the panel, the really exciting panels, are going to be on Friday and Saturday. On Friday from 5 to 6, I believe Pacific, they're going to be doing the Transformers panel with the development team, and they're going to take us behind the scenes to unveil the latest character figures from across the brand and celebrate its ongoing partnership with Mattel's iconic Hot Wheels line. We'll be getting into that, featuring the latest editions of Bone Shaker and Twin Mill. Plus, time permitting, there will also be a Q&A session filled with trivia and epic giveaways. And then on Saturday, they're going to be doing the Transformers G.I. Joe All Out War in the Energon universe. That's going to be from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And we did kind of talk about this last week, and they go on to write that the biggest year for the Energon universe is here. Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Void Rivals from Skybound continue to top charts, and we aren't letting up. Superstars Robert Kirkman, Daniel Warren Johnson, Joshua Williamson, and Steve Makowitz will reveal their plans for the Quintesson War, the Dreadnought War, and more in a panel. They'll have everyone on the edge of their seats, and it is moderated by Arnu Singh, who's the VP or the brand VP of Skybound. So there's a write-up on that exclusive, and the others, the G.I. Joe ones, the Beyblade one, and more. I really thought that we were going to be getting that timeline set. Maybe I was mistaken. The Hearts of Steel Bumblebee and Megatron. I could have sworn they had stated those were going to go up for pre-order. But we'll get to the Void Rivals set in just a second. We do have more convention news. We got this from Kapow Toys, and this is exciting. So I know a lot of people that are out in the UK. I mean, they have TF Nation and all, but there's TF Nation and I think it's a Transformer Rollout. One of the two. They have like their own versions of TFCon and BotCon. Have been there for quite some time. Well, this is really cool. It was neat to see Astrolift, which was Movor, and Fortifex, which was Armorhide from RID, offered between BotCon and TFCon. Well, now MMC is taking their exclusives through Kapow to TF Nation. So for all of the people that are out in the UK, you have an opportunity to get them in person at a convention rather than having to import them from Planet Steel Express, which I think is pretty cool. And also probably gives Kapow a better opportunity to offer these to their customers, especially since I know a lot of people are excited for Assaultus. I just got Astrolift in, and he's really good. And I'm waiting to get Fortiflex, which is their Armorhide. And I really like this mold when they used it for Brawl, for the MMC Brawl. And I think this is really cool. And I hope that there's some team ups with stores, like some of the stuff that goes on with Fans Hobby, for instance. It would be really awesome if they could team up with Kapow or Robot Kingdom for some of these conventions to bring some of the stuff like the Fans Hobby exclusives and maybe some of the X-Transbots exclusives and get those into the hands of Europeans a little bit easier. And lastly, did cover the War for Cybertron, the Fall of Cybertron mod a couple weeks ago, but Rohan Carr posted this just a few days ago on the 19th, and posting that they've released a silent patch for Transformers Devastation that locks the game at a stable 60 frames a second. And doing just another, and I'm not sure, but I think this also does have some additional tweaks in it to up the resolution, if I'm not mistaken. But this is pretty awesome. Rohan Carr kind of doing some of the work that Activision hasn't been able to do. I guess it's the ball's kind of in the court of both Hasbro and Activision. But really cool for anybody that happens to have these games in their Steam library, or I believe you can pick it up from archive.org. I think they tend to host a bunch of games that are unlisted there. But if you happen to have this game in your library, or you want to go about getting it through whatever ways, whether you choose to get it through a key reseller or what, you now have the opportunity to play the game at a stable 60 frames per second. So really cool stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else Rohan does, because I wouldn't be shocked if a texture pack and a better mod to get War for Cybertron up to 60 frames a second. There is a way to do it. There was an original mod, but cool stuff, and appreciate Rohan's contributions to these games and making them better. And that handle is Rohan Carr Moon on Twitter. if you want to go in and get those games. I'll put the link to the Go file in the description of this episode as well for anybody looking to get it. Let's catch up on chat real quick before we get into our regular news. Got Sabertron saying nice Grimlock. Yeah, it's a really fun Grimlock. If you're looking just for a goofy despot and just want to get something on the cheap end, I recommend it. Especially like 30 bucks. This is a huge figure. I mean, even comparing it to like the Siege Optimus, right? Like this is just a big chunk of a figure. Yeah, articulation isn't exactly there, but the fun and the gimmicks are. And focus. This Razer camera is driving me nuts. I think I might have to switch over to a Logitech in the near future. But we got Paul coming in. Good to see you, Paul. And Mario saying, still waiting to get a figure from Age of the Primes from Wave 1. That's the leader class Megatronus. I tried. Yeah, I have finally started seeing those show back up in Target and Walmart. So hopefully Megatronus and Grimlock start getting better distribution, especially Megatronus, because we're going to be getting a reissue of the Studio Series Grimlock. We don't exactly need Grimlocks clogging up shelves, but I know that there's a lot of people that still do want that G2 color scheme, because I think that blue and gold is like probably the best deco for Grimlock, in my opinion. The Shattered Glass one is. We got Mazza Salamanca coming in, saying, nerd, good to see you, Mazza Salamanca. I can actually say your name unlike the real Mazza, calling him Mazza Salamander. Yes, I am a nerd. All right, let's get on over to some of the regular news. We got a bit of news today. So we get a good look, new promotional images of that SDCC exclusive, the Void Rivals Jetfire with Derek and Celia from the Void Rivals comic. So basically what we're getting here is just a clean white redeco of the Siege Jetfire mold. And you're getting brand new molds with O-rings. So they're going to be done kind of like classic GI Joes, which is pretty cool. So if you wanted to fit in your Void Rivals characters with some of the O-ring Joes, you certainly can do that. And so right now we don't have an actual price from Hasbro, but the adjusted price from the Fan Expo booth from Hong Kong comes out to $126.16, which isn't the worst considering the Commander class figure is about $90. But we'll get into why I think this is kind of a bad deal in a second. And yes, Mazza Salamanca, I was showing off the new Grimlock. I'll pull him back up, but there he is. There's the new Grimlock. The Cyber World Grimlock, specifically. But yeah, I know this is a convention exclusive, but you don't get all that much. I mean, again, these are very basic GI Joe style figures. I guess that what they're putting out now kind of retails for $15, and that's probably their mentality on it. But then when you get something like, I don't know, the crossover cup, the Triple T cup that came with two O-ring figures, and it was basically Commander class size and had a lot of engineering and came in at a lot less in very intricate packaging, where both figures came on their own individual blister cards. It kind of gets hard to justify it. So there they are, and there's Jetfire, and he looks fine in the clean deco. However, what irks me about this is three things. First, yes, I understand that, they're going with the clean deco and he doesn't have the armor in the comic. It is what it is. But I do wish, because he's got the rotating faction symbol, I wish they had still picked out the faction symbols in paint. Instead, you get a blank chest, an Autobot, and Decepticon insignia, and none of them are painted. Again, the photography for this is pretty neat. And again, this is a nice figure, but without that armor, I mean, really, I don't think that this warrants the price hike that it's getting. And yeah, he just comes with the 2 rifles that can combine into the large rifle. He still comes with the blast effects. But I mean, his armor was additional weapons, and it would have been neat to get that armor with you know, some of the, with that clean deco. I mean, you know, to match. So there's everything you get. Just his guns, 2 blast effects, and the clean deco and the 2 figures. They don't even come on their own individual blister cards. I don't even really think that this packaging is much to write home about. It's nice, but you know, I guess you do get the comic with it. I'm not too clear on that, but yeah, okay. I guess they do come on a tiny blister card, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what this comes in at. Maybe they were off on the pricing. Maybe it'll come up a little bit cheaper, but if this is $130, I don't think that it's really worth it as much as you're getting now. If you want that clean deco and you want them for your kind of like studio series display, or your kind of like chug scale, just trying to get like an accurate chug scale, maybe I can see a lot of people going for this one. But I'm still happy with the Siege Jetfire, and I think the Siege Jetfire just looks the part enough. So yeah, this one's definitely a pass for me. Then we do have another exclusive. This is the Hasbro Hong Kong exclusive. They're calling it the Battle Damage G1 Optimus Prime. I think at first we kind of thought this was going to be stickers, but it's actually not. They did go in and they painted up a lot. Initially, when I heard Battle Damage, I thought it was going to be like, a deco where it was like him in the 86 movie Battle Damaged, but really this is just kind of like some weathering and extra paint. I love how much paint is in this Matrix chamber, because that was one of the things that was really lacking from the 86 Commander. You get cel-shaded windows as well. And I can't remember if the original had these like silver stripes in the trailer, but I really like how that all looks. I think that circle is picked out. I think that's new. But you can see there's like a bit of weathering going on in the truck, and the cell shading on the windows. This looks really good. I can see a lot of people picking this up, not to make it a Battle Damage Prime, but to make it a more proper Devastation Prime. And yeah, you can see some of the additional details picked out on the back of the trailer. But, all in all, it's a really nice looking piece. And yeah, if you held out, might be a good opportunity. Now, the only issue is this is limited to 40 units. And it's also going to cost you around $637. So, yeah, I mean, if you did, you're probably not going to be opting for this one. But still, it does look nice. Looks very nice. You're probably better off just getting a customizer to do it for you. But a neat exclusive. I'm sure that's going to shoot up in value. We also get a look, and this was shared by TM Reviews, but also been going around with other creators. But I'm going to give TM Reviews credit. This is the Optimus Machina Predaking, which we've shown off before. This is the first color photo of the bot mode combined up. This is going to stand about 12 inches tall to the head, I believe. And it's looking pretty good. No pricing on it yet. I'm sure that's going to be scary, especially seeing like what they want for the Lost Light version of Rodimus. So yeah, this is also one too where I'm really going to recommend waiting for reviews just to see like how big the individual bots are, how it all combines up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this Predaking is going to pan out, especially since too, like, if this is kind of chug scale, kind of legend scale. You might be better off if you've got Feral Rex. If you want an IDW Predaking, you might also be better off waiting for that inevitable Age of the Primes or whatever the successor series combiner Predaking is called, because they're going to probably do one as well. So There you go. I mean, unless the reviews come out and they're like gushing over it, I think that the individual Predacons are going to be tiny and they're going to be very compromised for this because it looks like they're trying to give us a really stable and sturdy combined Predaking, but the individual bots are probably going to suffer a lot for it. So I will say it looks good, but I'm one, scared of the initial asking price, and two, just very curious how well it's actually going to work. Then we have a user over on Baidu, and I believe this is released in Singapore, if I'm not mistaken, but this user, Sama, has Onyx Prime in hand. So we get a bunch of images of Onyx Prime in the box, and how he's going to come packaged up and out of the box. Looking like a final production figure, meaning Onyx Prime's probably right around the corner here. And just kind of showing off that Centaur mode. Or I guess it's a wyvern. I can't tell. It's like a wyvern dragon thing. But looking very, very good. Looking forward to getting this one. And yeah, just a lot of those details highlighted there. Curious how I'm going to display this one, like what mode. I really like that Centaur mode, but there's some size comparisons, standing a bit taller than the 86 Commander Optimus and much taller than Vector Prime, as he should. So looking probably, I wish there was a picture of him next to Megatronus, but probably going to be a very comparable bot. And Princeton saying that the UK got Onyx already. I missed that, so I'm really guessing Onyx will probably be hitting shelves sometime in August, if not the end of this month. I know we got like a week left to go, but yeah. Then we got Walmart doing some early reveals. So we got a retro Brawn coming, which we had listings for, and he's looking pretty good. Yeah, I like that head sculpt. I wish Bumblebee got that treatment, and I'll be picking him up to keep him on the card. I've already got two of the Brawn molds. I've got the Dying Brawn and the 86 Brawn. But yeah, I think he looks pretty good on the card there. And I really do like that head sculpt. And then we get a figure we hadn't seen before. And this one's kind of neat because we're getting the retro Sea Spray before Sea Spray was even formally revealed. So there's Sea Spray. I do wish that this Toy Deco one had the silver face like the card art. You know? I'm curious what the actual Sea Spray is going to look like. You know, for Age of the Primes. But this is a good looking Sea Spray, you know? And yeah, there's our first look. So like I'm liking that we're getting these mini bots on Retro Card Back. I hope that we get an update to Trailbreaker and Windcharger. That'd be nice. And I'm guessing we'll probably get Outback as well. And Swerve and good Lord, why can I not think of Swerve's mold mate? I am blanking bad on that one. Someone will remind me. I know someone will remind me, but I'm sure we'll get Swerve, and I won't be shocked if we get a Cliff Jumper either. I'm pretty sure we'll get one. Though watch Cliff Jumper be the 86 Bumblebee mold. You know, just the way things are. I'm so tired of getting that glass gas cannon with every reuse of that mold. So, yeah. And oh yeah, Mario, I did notice that happened to me too. I had ordered one for myself and I ordered one for Lance, and both of them got canceled. And I got the email from Walmart saying that they didn't have enough stock. So it's like, well, why did you take the pre-orders? You know. And I pre-ordered like day of. So Gears, thank you, Princeton. But yeah, I'll have to check that out. I've not seen any Onyx reviews. It's been busy for me lately. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Onyx. I'm definitely looking forward to the Sea Spray. But yeah, I'm sure we'll get Swerve and Gears. And I also won't be shocked if they do some of the stuff like the, you know, like back in the day, they did some of the the classics where they did like Grimlock and Starscream and Jazz. I'm sure we'll probably get some retro card back deluxes. I won't be shocked if they give us an opportunity to get Cosmos as a retro card back as well, since a lot of people missed Cosmos at the tail end of Legacy when they reissued Cosmos. So yeah, there's a look at the two Walmart retros. And then speaking of Cosmos, Earthspark. I know not many people are fans of Earthspark, but the last waves of Earthspark have actually been pretty good. And I know Cosmos and his design on that show has kind of been a fan favorite, especially since it kind of harkened back to that Derek J. Wyatt design for Cosmos. And you get the big, huge looking Cosmos. And I know people are excited for this. Hopefully people can actually find him, because I know that the Soundwave has been incredibly hard to find. I just happened upon one day, and then everybody was, I was like, yeah, you know what? I saw like the engineering on those posts on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, I'll pick up the Soundwave, and he ended up being like one of my favorite pickups of 2025, and kind of looking forward to this Cosmos, just because again it's very unique and just silly, and again it kind of goes back to that old Derek J. Wyatt design. Oh dang, Princeton's got canceled as well. So I'm hopeful that Sideways will at least be plentiful in stores. I mean, with all the Velocitron stuff, it was just like, it was hard to find, and then it just started showing up. And then the Starseekers were the same way. Like I was like, I just wanted Lockdown. I couldn't find Lockdown, and then they're all on clearance on Walmart site. Go figure. And yes, Powerglide. Powerglide is coming too. It'd be cool to get a retro card back Powerglide. And it would be really cool if they did one like a G.I. Joe crossover, like they did for the old Combiner Wars one. And yes, he is a chunky boy, that Cosmos. Then we'll get into the Hot Wheels stuff. So we get the official images for Bone Shaker. Looking really, really good. We'd seen him before, but I'm sure that we're going to get some actual footage of him from that SDCC panel. I don't know that we saw like this weapon previously, like this gear shift weapon. But yeah, the paint is looking really, really good on this guy. I wish they had done chrome, but I hope that in person that silver is like really silver. So yeah, I'm excited for these, and gotta love the fact that they have pinned on wheels. And on top of that, the Color Shifters Tracks has been found. It's kind of funny too that it's Tracks. They don't even bother to say it's Tracks. But these are showing up at retail. I still think it would have been cooler if it went from blue to red, instead of blue to black. But it is what it is. Not going to be collecting any of these Hot Wheels, but if anybody's a fan of Tracks, they are showing up in stores. Then another one, this is an anomaly, but this went up on the Hasbro Shop website, and this is a redeco of the Rescan Motorcycle Bumblebee from over 10 years ago, decoed up to look like a Lita 1, and kind of neat. It does work a bit, but if you wanted a Lita 1, if you're getting like a little one or a little girl in your life, and you're like, hey, let's get her a Transformer. Well, you get this rescue bot repainted up to look like a Lita 1-ish, even though it kind of gives me more the vibes of like the Murder Bee from Dark of the Moon, when Bumblebee was pink in that a little bit. But I think it's probably a good idea that they do reissue some of these rescue bots and paint them up, and give some of the collectors other characters, but also kind of keep them out there in circulation, so get new kids to get in on them. Then this was one that was really curious. Blokey's doing their Galaxy Unicron. I was curious what that was going to be, and we get a good look at how that head's going to work out. So I think I happen to have a Bloki stand on my desk? Yeah, I definitely do. I thought I did. Let's get one. There we go. So for comparison, here is a stand. So he's probably going to be in and around. Let me stop sharing for a second. Got Sentinel here, and just to pull it back up, probably going to be in and around like the size of a regular Bloki's figure, just for comparison. Give you an idea. So not going to be the biggest Unicron head, however, and I'm not sure if this is just going to be like a chase version or what. But if you like to keep your Unicron on display with complete intact transformation. For me, I took the head off for my Unicron display, and I just kind of have the head as the moon of Cybertron. Could always get this again, they're blind bag, but could always get this and have that accomplish the same goal. I hope that the regular release isn't just clear. It's like a solid, but maybe this is the chase one, who knows? But yeah, kind of cool that it exists, and definitely like a unique one that Bloki's is doing. Now watch them do like a whole Unicron kit down the line. That'd be nuts. And speaking of clear, we get a look at an exclusive from YOLO Park. Now, unfortunately, this is a convention exclusive, and this is going to be debuting at the Hong Kong Anacon and Games and SDCC. So actually, it's limited to 4 conventions. I take that back. The Hong Kong Anacon and Games, San Diego Comic-Con, Taiwan Comic-Con, and China Joy. So they're probably splitting this up. They say they're splitting this up 100 units each at the conventions. So 400 for the conventions. The other 600 are going to be available to regular customers. Now, this is interesting because this is basically the size of an MP Starscream. And if Takara Tomy doesn't do a Ghost of Starscream, this could be a great option for collectors. In fact, if this is readily available and I can pick one up, I probably will, to have him on display with my MPs. It's because Ghost Starscream also doesn't need to transform. But yeah, he comes with all the stuff that the regular AMK Pro does, but he's just done up in a clear deco. I know Deluxe will probably be moving heaven and earth to get this, but yeah, this is their transparent Starscream model kit. I don't believe they put a price on this one. Yeah, they definitely haven't yet. But if I had to guess, it's probably going to be around $60 to $70 for this one. But yeah, there you go. Hopefully they do have extra stock. I can see a lot of people probably getting the same idea for this one. But yeah, I think this is a good alternative, because if you put this model kit right next to the official MP, it is very, very, very close in terms of design. And Hallmark starting up already their Christmas decorations, their keepsake ornaments for 2025 have started to hit stores already. They've started showing up at the Hallmark stores, and they've got a basic one as well as the 2007 movie Bumblebee Camaro, the old classic Camaro. So you can pick these up on the website or over on at the Hallmark stores. I don't think there's any electronics in either of these. I think they're just basic ornaments. I might get the Megatron if I see him and I like him in person. Sometimes, I see these pictures and I'm like, eh. So we do have my wife and I do have the Nerd Tree. I do like him on the back of this Decepticon insignia. But again, it's just going to depend on, how he looks in person. Same thing with the classic Camaro. If the Camaro played sounds, like did some radio noises, I might be interested. But, we'll see. We'll see how I feel. Normally, I like to go and browse and get one new ornament a year, because our tree is getting a little crowded. And lastly, Eddie Del Rio has gifted us with 2 additional pieces of Rise of the Beast concept art. This time we're getting a look at what could have been for Black Arachnia and Snapper, of all characters. So there's Black Arachnia, and I don't really like this. This does not scream Black Arachnia to me. This looks a little bit more like Night Scream, if I'm going to be honest. I do like the whole idea of like the spider legs forming a cape, but I think this would have looked better for Tarantulas, to be honest. I think maybe like the face just needs to be a bit more feminine, and the chest definitely needs to be a lot more feminine. But interesting concept art there. Now, Snapper is a deep cut, and I do really like this design and would have liked to have seen like an unconventional character have shown up, even if, you know, as a fodder enemy. But still, I like these designs, and I won't be shocked if we start seeing stuff like this pop up in Studio Series for the concept art series. We should be its own subline at this point, I think, like just doing Studio Series concept art, because there's a lot they could do. There's probably a lot of unused designs for G1, for Beast Wars. Shoot, I mean, if you think about it, some of the canceled shows and canceled characters, I mean, if they were to take the Allspark Almanac, I think this is like a good discussion video, but if they were to take like the Allspark Almanac and do like Transformers animated Studio Series concept characters, maybe bring Trans Tech to life that way. You know, there's some good ideas, I think, that they could do with a concept art line. I don't know. Let's catch up with chat real quick. I think we're pretty much caught up. And, yep, Mario saying the only one of the Hot Wheels collaboration he'll be getting is Twin Mill. Twin Mill looks... I'm going to be getting both. I had Bone Shaker as a kid, and I think I also had Twin Mill, but I think they both look amazing. And Mario's saying, really like we got some Predacons for Rise of Beast. I wish we had gotten Beast Megatron as well. That would have been cool. But yeah, definitely more Predacons outside of just a bunch of Scorponox. So let's get into our third-party news, and we got just a little bit. So last week we looked at the add-on kit for the Synergex Godzilla Megatron, and now we get a look at the DNA kit for the Mecha Godzilla Optimus, which really it's a big Y. But regardless, it's basically just the original add-on kit that we got for that set, the Battle Tanker, add-on kit, just kind of like weaponizing up this Optimus. It's fine. I wish they had done something to make this look and feel more like Mechagodzilla. I get it's like, you're working with a, G2 Optimus here, but I feel like this is kind of a letdown from DNA. Again, they're just probably also saying like, hey, we've already got the framework for this. Let's just do it in this deco. I can't really blame them, but I wish they had found a way to make this a more fitting homage to Mechagodzilla. Hey, we got Stunning Brave Megatron coming in saying, "Oi, Boxing Day coming early. Got my notice from Show Z that Fans Toys Dead End and X Transbot Scavenger are en route." Hell yeah, man. That is awesome. Yeah, we'll be talking about Dead End in just a second here. But yeah, no price on this set yet. I think these are new weapons, but there he is fighting the kitted up Godzilla. I think the kit for the Godzilla Megatron definitely makes it worthwhile, but I was hoping that they would kind of pull an ace out of their sleeve to make this something, like had figured a way to give him a tail and a new head, something. Even if he still turned into a truck. But yeah, there we go. And they technically there is the Shattered Glass Grimlock that is like a mini Trypticon. And I'm surprised they didn't do like a kit to convert him into like a mini Trypticon. But I do think that Grimlock looks amazing in those colors. This is a different one, not based on anything that I'm really aware of, but TM Review shared this, and I saw in the comments that some people in their headcanon are making this their Earth mode Dion. And this is the Lijiang Wuling, and this was shared from Weibo. Don't know really anything about this other than it's a 124 scale vehicle, and it's just a neat looking truck and robot here. And I definitely can see like where people are like, yeah, this could be like a stand-in for like an Earth mode Dion. And I do really like how this guy looks. He just looks like a construction bot. You know, he's got like a welding tool and, you know, kind of like, you know, it could be like a little blast shield and a blaster that also turns into a baton. So really no information on this, no pricing yet, but definitely one to keep on the radar. And it'll be one that I'll most likely be skipping, but still, I think it's neat. And I think it's something that probably will fit in with some people's MP collections if they want it to. Especially if you're doing like background characters or Cybertronians or whatnot, you know. And yeah, Prince, I did see that add-on kit is kind of on the pricey side, though. Junkion Crafts and Builds did share he was at a local shop the other day, and the Megatron was only $65, so it's not that much more than leader class price. I kind of feel like, you know, if you can find that Megatron at a good price, kind of maybe worth it. Again, I'll be passing on it. But yeah. And TM Reviews also shared some updated photography of the Dark Samurai, which we looked at last week. And this is looking pretty good. So these are some new screenshots of him next to the two variations of the Sideswipe, the Toon and the Toy Decos from DX9. And just showing him in some really dynamic poses. Showing him with some other bots. I'm guessing that's the Takara Tomy there, as well as the Magic Square Combaticons. And yeah, he's looking pretty good. I do wish that he came with, like I said, the you know, the grenade belt and some grenades. I love that he has his swords. Would have liked it if he also came with the comic guns. But, you know, I've got my official one. I'm not going to be replacing it as good as this looks. But, you know, that Rambo upgrade kit. But this is a good opportunity for anybody that missed out on that official one to get a really good and posable version of a G2 Sideswipe. And yeah, I am very much waiting for that X-Transbots Orion. I want to see more of that. And they probably will do Dion out of that. I'd love to see them tackle Ariel and Alita and, you know, finally give us that Alpha Trion. So here's a different one I found as well. I don't normally cover KOs here, but this one kind of caught my eye. This showed up on the Billy shop, and I saw it over on TFW. And this is a modified version of the Bumblebee movie Megatron. And so they've kind of gone out of their way to give this guy upgraded pieces, LEDs. As you can see, they've taken the War for Cybertron baton. I'm not quite sure what this sword is from. They've upped his fusion cannon. They've given him LEDs in the eyes. He's now got posable fingers. He's 13 inches tall. So there he is, I believe, next to the Unique Toys Despotron. So he's a big boy. They're saying that this is MDLX scaled. So if you wanted to have him in with your MDLX collection, you could. I have the Monocrat Mega Tank, so I love that figure. I have no intention of replacing it. But they definitely did some really cool stuff with this in terms of fixing the transformations. On top of all of that, they've tweaked the engineering a little bit to give him like all these additional alt modes. So there's the improved tank mode you can see there. And I do think like with this paint, it looks better. I'd be curious to see it from all angles to see if there's any additional tooling. There's the jet mode, which with that new turret looks pretty good. You can see some of the tweaks they've made to the back here. And again, the posability is the same, but now he's got like this giraffe mode, which is different. The scorpion mode, then the gun mode, and they kind of have given him like a car mode of sorts. Maybe kind of like a bike mode. Pretty cool stuff. I'm sure this one's probably going to be on the cheaper end. He's even got like a different alternative configuration for the tank mode here, a base mode. So, fun stuff. If you wanted this guy to be bigger, you definitely have the opportunity. I like that they've given him the articulated fingers. I'm curious, like, what this guy is going to cost. And I'm also really curious if he's going to actually have the Decepticon insignia etched on him in the final product, or if this is just like, somebody just took a dry rub and put that on there. He's going back to these initial photos. He doesn't have it. I'm assuming they probably just took a dry rub and put that on there. But yeah, this one's pretty cool. Don't have any any information outside of what this is called other than the TC01 BBM Megatron. But yeah, this is cool. Definitely one to keep an eye on, and I'll be curious when he starts getting solicitations through places like TF Safari and AliExpress and Shozee. Definitely curious what the cost is going to be on that one. And yeah, you definitely need to get Monocrat. He's such a good figure. And Mario coming in saying, still thinking I'll find Age of the Primes Megatronus in Target or Walmart's. Target's going to live in Texas. So far, I haven't had anything last time. Yeah, I hope with the Holothon stuff, they just get a better assortment of those Wave 1 leaders. Hopefully, you can find one. Also, I think they're getting restocked on Amazon, but I can't remember entirely. So Amazon might be a good option. Before we close it out, Fans Toys has posted videos for Marauder. The combination instructions, the transformation video for Bandit, transformation video for the trailer. And as I went live tonight, my friend Pig for Life has Bandit in the house, signaling to me that Toy Dojo is probably going to be sending me an invoice very soon. So there's the news that Bandit is, I think everybody knew that Bandit's shipping, and that whole Stunticon team is finally finished after 6 years. Good Lord, what a long wait. I still remember when I reviewed, I guess I did do a review for the breakdown over on the Figure Action YouTube channel years back. Yeah, it's crazy. It just kind of makes me wonder how long it's going to take them to do their Constructicons. But yeah, exciting that set is finally going to be done. It's exciting. The aerial bots have been done. My buddy Diesel has been obsessed with Ethereon ever since he got his. So I'm sure people are going to be liking Marauder quite a bit. For me, my DX9 is just going to be my combined Menasor, and these guys are going to be my bot modes. I wish I could just buy it without the combiner parts. Really, that's my biggest my biggest dread on that set. But that's going to wrap it up for tonight's episode. So yeah, a little bit of a short episode. We're coming in about an hour. But as always, I want to thank everybody who hopped in and hung out tonight. If you're watching me here on the replay, drop a comment. I do check out the comments. I do interact with you there. If you have anything that you're really excited about, or anything that maybe I missed, or if you got thoughts or feelings on anything, let me know. If you're installing those mod packs for Devastation or Fall of Cybertron, or if there's any convention exclusives you're really excited about, or if there's any you're going to be picking up, I want to know. So drop a comment. I do read those. We got Stunning Brave coming back saying that the Fans Toys Technobots should add the helmet accessory for Grimlock that was used to transfer his knowledge into Computron. I agree. It would be awesome if they, and knowing Fans Toys, they do love to throw in those little things. I won't be surprised if we get like an apron with one and the tray, because they did do Grinder, so they could do that accessory pack for Grinder. And I do believe there was a Masterpiece Grimlock that had the apron and like a soft goods apron and the helmet from Grimlock's New Brain. So that would be cool. But yeah, without further ado, I'll be wrapping it up here. As mentioned, I'll be posting on the community tab details about the next meetup in the Bel Air, or actually, excuse me, the White Marsh, Maryland area on August 30th. So a bit more than a month out. Lance will be there. I'm going to try and get Vault Matrix there. He got hung up at work last time. Going to be a really good time. Good opportunity to meet people from the community, surrounding areas, just get together, have some drinks, have a good meal, check out some figures you might not have had the opportunity to, and just have a really good time. But with that, yeah, again, thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight, and I hope you all have a great week ahead, and I'll see you all next Tuesday right here on Zero Hour. Peace out. Bye-bye. Have a good one, and Zero out.